All right, we're gonna go ahead and call the regular board meeting for October 12th, 2023 to order at 6:31 p.m. Can I get roll call, please?
Deputy's present.
Gossip present.
Lester here.
All you have here.
And Brianna Tenzoni here. One is the regular board meeting agenda. It's recommended the board approve the regular meeting agenda for October 12th, 2023. Can I get a motion?
I'll move. Second.
Do we have any changes to the agenda? Hearing none, I do have two changes to the agenda, and it's just they're just minor. On roll call, for board member De Jesus, member is spelled wrong. In the future, we can just get member spelled right. That would be awesome. And then also on C, the title reads public hearing insufficiency of instructional materials. That first of should be in for public hearing sufficiency or insufficiency of instructional materials. Those are my only two changes to the agenda. Call for question, comments in favor?
This is
Lester, all you have fine.
Brianna Tenzoni, aye. To a public participation. Do we have any public participation? We do not. A closed session discussion items. The board may discuss conference with labor negotiators, public employee discussion, discipline, dismissal, release, conference with legal counsel, or student matters. 3B, adjourned to closed session. Can I get a motion?
I'll move. Sorry.
Discussion? All those in favor?
This is
Lester, all you have fine.
Brianna Tenzoni, aye. The board is adjourned to closed session at 6:33.
Whatever you.
All right, we reconvene the regular board meeting of October 12th, 2023 at 8:57. So 7:57, sorry, 7:50. I was like, that sounds weird. We're usually adjourned by that time. So 7:57 p.m. I apologize for our tardiness. We had a hefty closed session. For a flag salute, our flag salute will be led by our student board member, Representative Aislinn. Stand over here. Begin. I like the flag of the United States of America,
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
For the civility statement will be read by Mr. Paulsgraf.
When conducting the district's business, we will strive to communicate clearly and concisely with respect for the time of others, listen objectively, carefully considering the opinions of others, understand the counterproductive effects of disruptive, demeaning, and intimidating behaviors, understand and respect district policies and procedures, and maintain a respect for the rich history of the district and the efforts of others who have served in the past.
At this time, I am going to go ahead and excuse myself from the meeting. As most people know, the junior high Silver League Championship is going on, and this is likely my son's very last volleyball game ever. So it's important to me that I be there. And I just want to thank my fellow board members and everybody for understanding that that's really important to me. And Mr. Paulsgraf is going to go ahead and take over the meeting. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Good luck. We will, recognizing that Dr. Sahakian is with us virtually, we'll try to move through things and we'll take a moment when we move to each agenda item and give him the opportunity to add or make assignment to anything that needs to be discussed. Tab item number 5, closed session. So there was nothing to report out of closed session this evening. Tab number 6, public comments, recognition, and reports. Do we have public comments cards or anyone call in wishes to speak or?
Thank you, Mr. Paulsgraf. I'll defer to Miss McCauley since I'm not there.
Okay, we're good. Last call. Moving on, number 7, correspondence, proposals, and reports. Item A, AATA representative.
Hi, this is Carrie.
Good
Do
evening.
you hear me?
Yes, that's the report.
I don't have a lot to say. I am the AATA representative tonight, and we just wanted to say that we are excited about the upcoming year and look forward to working with the community, the district, and the governing board to bring our students the best educational experiences possible. And as Helen Keller would say, alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Carrie, and your added team. Moving along, B, CSEA representative. Nothing from Caesar, I think. C, student representative of the board. Can we hear your report, Hazel?
Absolutely, and I do have a lot to report tonight, so buckle in. Starting with the elementary school, there is certain September awards given to the students that I would like to recognize. Our super scholars are Jonathan Fagan Jr., Aliana Padilla, Ian Enza, Sean I apologize. Colton Peterson, Alexander Iger, Gina Beatrix Iger, Dusty Daunton, sorry, Kane Pira, Corey Daughter. Then Mia Gomez Medina and Finley Graff. Maxwell Castet and Lex Ramirez. Ariana Galarez. Laren Bollins Gazera. Jack Weiss. English. Hickson Silver. Levy Wadma, Sophia Ortiz, and Samantha Hendrick. Our citizens of the month for the elementary school are Morgan Allard, Alejandro James Alcaster, Amelia Tone, Kensley Johnson, Luna Chavez Martinez, Juan Cameron, Natalie Gonzalez, Arella Varela, Haley Garcia, Mateo Carrilla, Victoria Diaz, Andrew Diaz, Grace Seymour, Riley Bowkeeper, my apologies, Colton Yoitish, Jordan Padilla, Victoria Hera, Avery Walker, Ruben Chibi, Jesus Jacob, and George Sandovaldo. Then our most improved students at Meadowlark are Sophia Torres, Annie Surrent, Sophia Rodriguez, Sadie Warwick, Ian Aguilar, Cesar Carrillo, Ray Medina, Miguel Rodriguez, Sophia Paz, Garillo Galiski, Ruby Chichili, I'm so sorry, Alison Valdez, Santiago Sanchez, Sophia Hernandez, and Caitlin Small. For upcoming events at Meadowlark, we have the Red Ribbon Week / Spirit Week on October 23rd, so that shall be fun. On October 25th from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. there's country line dancing. That would be exciting. And on October 26th, there's a BMX bike show. Now at the High Desert. The highlights from High Desert are Haley Garillo for being a conscientious student and showing compassion and inclusion to all of her students in her class. Cindy Acosta for kindness and integrity. She's a friend to everyone she meets. Bentley Koopman for service to everyone on campus. Kay Daniels for courage and standing up for what's right. And Cassie Olson for determination to do extra to make sure work is always on high quality. They say that the Hawks family game night was a big success. Many families and students joined them. They want to give a big thank you to Chris, Corinne, Bailey, and the head of the Booster Club for the support and the food that was donated. On Friday, which I believe was Friday, October 6th, High Desert hosted the Medal of Honor recipient, Staff Sergeant David Barilla, on a Zoom assembly to kick off the Medal of Honor Development Days this school year. Medal of Honor Character Development Program is the backbone of the character education on campus. Staff Sergeant Berg-Valens spoke directly to the students about the importance of doing what's right no matter who's looking. He reminded the students that you are a legacy, and the most important thing to do to ask yourself in any situations is, are you making the people around you better? The Hawks, High Desert Hawks would like to thank Vasquez High School for including them in their homecoming books. The students were very excited to participate, and I can do say so. Their books look fantastic. The High Desert Booster Club is supporting athletics through athletics snack bar. So if you go to a High Desert game, you should stop by the snack bar for treats to support the HDS Booster Club. And thank you to Giza Ramirez and parents who volunteered to make the snack bar possible. And recently the solar panel fencing at High Desert came down, so they would like to give a big shout out to Mr. Belinsky and Dr. Sahakian. There was a huge celebration at the middle school, and students are really excited to have that down. For the Vasquez updates, our homecoming royalty, our homecoming was a few weeks ago. Our freshman princesses and prince is Sophia Aguilar and Royce Mays. Our sophomore prince and princesses are Olivia Mays and Kaden Badilla. Our juniors are Marina Ferris and Karen Wadsworth. Our senior king and queen were Hartley Lundquist, Cameron Brock, Our students of the month for October, I do believe, are Kane Botten, Hannah Whitmire, Brianna Covert, Aiden Murillo, Ceotil Gonzalez, Jack Buchanan, Ali Rocha, Elias Bastier, Carter Dualte, Gavin Perlo, Armando Padilla, and myself. Our past events is at our homecoming school dance. We actually had a senior, Ruslan Damron, do an epic guitar solo, and that was very fun to watch. The arts day I had commented on previously, that was taught by our senior Alex Coons, was a very big success. We had 18 students participated, and they all made this lovely picture of a bird. Upcoming next week on the 17th, we have still our guitar day with Mr. Spielman, and they did about 15 to 18 kids attending that as well. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Aislinn. Excellent as always. Moving on, item D, the superintendent gold standard report. Dr. Sahakian.
Thank you, Mr. Falsgraf. Aislinn, again, you did a fantastic job. It's always difficult to follow you, so keep up the good work, Aislinn. We're always proud of you. Tonight, well, before I begin, I apologize for not being there in person. I sincerely apologize. Love to be there with our partners, our community members, our trustees, and our parents. My wife has COVID, and I have some cold symptoms, some light symptoms, so just erring on the side of caution and steering clear. So, but I'm glad to make it virtually. Tonight, I'll be community engagement from our existing strategic plan. In mid-September, 6 of our Vasquez High School students volunteered their time at the Acton Library. The library staff stated how grateful they were for the help they received in preparation for their book sale. They stated our students were courteous, respectful, hardworking, and kind. We could never contest that. We know that for a fact. We have the best students in the overall. I'd like to go ahead and thank Mr. Sparks and Yolanda McCauley for supporting the coordination of this effort with the library, so thank you. I'd like to also thank the following students, of course, first and foremost, for their spirit of volunteerism. Following students assisted at the Acton Library: Landon Jensen, Nathan Jacobson, Landon McGriff, Sadie Mendoza, Max Schneider, Deegan Morrell. So congratulations, keep up the spirit of volunteerism. You made us proud. On Friday, September 29th, we held our first DLAC, District English Learner Advisory Committee, meeting for the new school year. The meeting was well attended by parents and staff. Updates from each school site's ELAC, you see the agenda on your screen. Updates from each school site's ELAC representative was provided with the group at large. I'd like to especially thank our bilingual aides from each of our school sites in preparation for the meeting, our parent participants, as well as our DLAC facilitators, Ms. Jana Largent and Ms. Tiffany Caseda. They're fantastic. Thank you for all that you do. Topics covered, of course, establishing DLAC committee members, such as president, secretary for the academic school year, the review of the already established EL master plan goals and objectives that were established last year and moving it forward for the 23-24 school year, and the review of reclassification process. What does that entail? There was a good discussion over the LPAC assessments, which are the English language proficiency assessments for California. So look out for the announcements for our next meetings for DLAC. All are welcome. Moving forward, on October 5th, the new pre-K TK program at the Acton site held a family picnic during the students' lunch break. We had a successful turnout to this community building activity. I'd like to thank our teaching staff and support staff for their energy, their enthusiasm. Their energy is infectious, as I see smiles on the faces of our youngest scholars on a daily basis at this program. We appreciate all you do. On October 5th, I held the monthly Meadowlark High Desert Vasquez High School PTO Booster Chairpersons meeting with the superintendent. Each site representative has a lot of energy, fantastic ideas, input, collaboration. They provide their updates, their needs, their challenges, as well as upcoming community events. And with that said, One exciting collaboration between all three sites is the upcoming Fall Festival. You see the flyer on your screen. It's on Saturday, October 21st, between 11 a.m. through 2 p.m. You see all the fantastic activities between weird science, live entertainment, costumes, bouncy house, and so forth. So please come out to represent and show your support. A huge thank you to the parent partners who devote countless hours to their time with the PTOs and the Booster Club. Last but not least, fantastic opportunities are taking place at our school sites, as we know through and through. Here, I'd like to share a little bit about the High Desert Life Skills elective class. Just this week, they had our amazing, fantastic district nurse, Miss Carrie Wright, teaching our 7th and 8th grade students from Miss Denise Seymour's class, CPR. As we know, it's a critical life skill. And there you have Miss Carrie Wright in the trenches with our students and teaching them this important life-saving skill. So Miss Carrie Wright, you're dynamic, we all know it, and we appreciate you. And that concludes my superintendent report. Thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent Sahakian. Moving on to item E, in the world of charter business, are there submissions?
There are no submissions, Mr. Fallsgraf. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll move on to tab 8. We'll be happy to hear from our board members, beginning with Mr. DeJesus.
Thank you. I want to thank everybody for being here, either via Zoom or in person. I want to thank Aslan for that very detailed and thorough student report. Appreciate that outstanding job. I want to thank Mrs. Jones for the great picnic that she put on. I was able to attend it, and it was very pleasing to see all the community members out there to support the picnic. I like seeing that. I also want to thank Mrs. Van Ortem. I went down to High Desert School to observe the lunch process. I know there were some comments made on a social media post, so I kind of wanted to understand the process a little bit. And what I found is that the process is smooth. There was no lines, extended lines. I think I counted 30 minutes from the last student to get their meal from the time the bell actually rang when we go back to class. So 30 minutes is well enough time to consume their meal. And I encourage parents, if they have concerns, to go down to the school and observe. Learn from your own eyes to see what actually takes place. So I appreciate Mrs. Van Orn for hosting me, and I had a great time. I'll keep my comments brief because I know we're going over time. Thank you.
Mr. Costan.
I don't have anything to report, so thank you.
Mr. Mascon.
Thank you, Mr. Fallsgraf. Carrie Wright, just wanted to say welcome to the role for Adirep. Look forward to hearing what you have to say every other week. Aislinn, thank you for that. That was awesome. I hope I look forward to that every 2 weeks. It should be fun. The Daylight Initiative was pretty amazing for our district. We do have a lot of English learners and a lot of I know what it's like being in another country or not speaking the language necessarily as well as you'd like to. I think it's a great initiative. It shows a lot of inclusion for the district, so I think that's great. Thanks to Ernesto and Eddie with facilities for taking a look at the practice field here at the district office football team, getting the overhauls filled in and getting the stripes. I know Eddie came out after his normal shift to do that overtime to get that done, so it's appreciated. Mr. Days, I think it's awesome going over there. Check that out. You kind of witnessed all that. That was a great idea. So.
Thank you, board members. I would like to extend my thanks to staff for providing our students a level of service that makes it easy for this position and those that hold it. For us to be both humbled, and it's an honorable position to serve you all. And I extend my thanks to my fellow board members for their positive representation of the district in its service to the students. And Ms. Taxoni is not here this evening, so we need to move around again. Anything? Good, perfect. We'll move on to tab 9, which is the consent agenda. There are several items on the consent agenda. There is the minutes of the meeting of the regular board meeting of September 14th. There is the warrant register, which is record of purchases. There is a listing of purchase orders. Without deferring to my board members first, I'd like to hear a brief comment, so I'd like to pull that one off. There is a report on the Williams lawsuit settlement report for the first quarter of 2023-24. Board members, is there anything you'd like to pull off the consent agenda or questions before we vote? Would you prefer that we hear the comments about what this new thing is popping up, this purchase orders report, and we can do that and then vote on the whole thing as a unit? Is that good? Sure. Perfect. Remember, the public has no idea what this is, so thanks.
Of course. So as we brought last board meeting, we might pulling it up real quick. The purchase order. Please. So as you were aware, last board meeting, we brought a purchase order list to the board. It was an agenda item under the business services last morning meeting. This particular report is a report of all new and changed purchase orders. It reports the vendor, the account stream, and the amount that we are encumbering. So this is just the plan to purchase, if you will. A purchase order is a legal document. Again, layman's term is a plan to purchase. So if it's to, Acton Hardware, then we would, say we're purchasing, let's say 10 nails or whatever it might be, 10 hammers or supplies or whatnot. We would have a purchase order that way the company knows our plan is to purchase those. And then they in turn will invoice us once the services or goods are provided. And this is just an approval process. This allows the district to help in its budgeting. That also gives the, again, approval from the office staff to the principals or department head to the assistant superintendent. So that's what you see here. Again, this is going to be a standing item on the consent calendar going forward, as it's best practice and legal that we need to have the board approve our purchase orders. So,
Board members.
We always know what my request is.
right, thank you.
Excel, right?
Thank you. Yeah, look into it. Thank you.
My only question or comment would be, for the ones that we're in repetitive business with, we really should be looking at NSA's master service agreements for the repetitive business, so we can put up some guardrails. I know there's a lot going on, it's not happening, but
Yeah, no, that part of it would be on, we are looking at terms and conditions to include with our purchase orders, so at least at minimum, they would have that. But thank you, duly noted.
yeah, just the other thing, for the repetitive purposes, how does the rule for, I think it was the $100,000 rule, when it's repetitive within a calendar year, so
Yes. So it depends on kind of what it is. So if we're talking about a public construction, right now, if I'm correct, I believe it's 15,000. It's any public works project over 15,000 actually has to go to bid. So that's that particular one. If you're talking about services or goods that are like commodity type, the state adopted a $50,000 limit, which has been adjusted each year for inflation.
I have a lot of the stuff, as you said before, there's other contracts that piggyback.
Right, yeah, and so the amount is a little over 100,000 now. Again, I apologize, I don't have it off the top of my head. But what we do for anything that goes close to that, we typically utilize the piggyback of the bid, or like with Staples or something. They already have a pretty big contract through, TCIP or I think the new one is NASPO. It's like a purchasing collective that they do the bids, as a whole, and then districts can piggyback on it. So.
Pretty good. Thank you. I'm good. So that said, there's nothing else we want to pull. So I'll ask the board to consider all the question, the warrant register.
I'll do it. Second.
I made a mistake, put up an historical marker. We're doing purchase orders, it's the entire consent calendar, so let's do that again. Do I have a motion to vote on the entire consent calendar?
I'll move it. I'll second.
Perfect. Call the question,
Jesus, aye.
Aye. Mask on.
Paul Draft, aye. Moving along, number 10, the personnel matters, A, personnel action, personnel report 23-24.04, superintendent.
Thank you, Mr. Fallsgraf. We do have an amended PAR that's been updated. We had a classified general IA move into the SPED IA classification. That is the amendment. But I also like to point out that we have two teacher hires at Vasquez High School for history, as well as the Apex virtual instruction. So congratulations to Vasquez. That's all, Mr. Fallsgraf. Thank you.
Let's back up again. Do I have a motion to consider the personnel action report?
I'll move it. Second.
Having heard the superintendent's report, can we call it to question?
Jesus, aye.
Cost Mask on.
Falls draft, aye, that's 4-0-1 absent. Moving on, 11, educational pupil services. This is an education partnership agreement with Edwards Air Force Base. Do I have a motion?
Move it. Second.
Superintendent.
Thank you. So this is for High Desert. This partnership agreement. This has been going on with High Desert for quite some time. It's for the 5th grade class. It's a trip in the early spring. It's a STEM experience: science, technology, engineering, and math. And the agency, Edwards Air Force Base, had an MOU, but they moved the template to a partnership agreement, and that's what we have here highlighted, as well as a link. And I'm not sure if, not to put anybody on the spot, I can't see if she's there, but she's typically there. If our principal for High Desert, Ms. Van Ornum, is there, if she'd like to say a few words regarding this exciting program.
He's right here.
She's at the volleyball. I think she's at the volleyball
Thank you.
tournament.
That's all I have.
I know she-
Okay, board members. No comment.
Oh, no comment.
Is anyone here that's a veteran? Board members, comments, please.
Well, I think it's an outstanding partnership, I tell you that. Personally,
Thank you.
I wish when I was young in school, I would have that same opportunity. I know I wanted to join the Young Marines, but didn't work out. But I think it's a great partnership. Sets students up for success. I think that's what it's all about. We're all about here.
Mr. Ostand.
This is the most gentle contract I've ever seen. It gives and it takes and it balances out. So I don't see how you can go wrong. And I hope Ms. Van Orem appreciates the fact that this is available and she's going to manage it, so, or has been managing it. So I think it's fantastic. So yes.
Yeah, I love it. It's nice that it's I think it's just a movement to a new contract agreement that you're saying, but thought it was a great program. My son kind of through it just recently, so it's fantastic. They're sharing the services with us. You get to go a little experience, a little military.
Great.
Thank you, board members. When I sit in this chair, it is my job to conduct business and develop consensus should that become necessary. Thus far this evening, it has not become necessary. May we call this a question?
I'm moving it.
Jesus, aye.
I'm gonna say.
You already
I'll
said
second.
that.
I'll second.
Okay,
Jesus, aye.
there we go.
Custom night.
Mask on.
Falls draft, aye. Business services, item tab 12, A, approval of change order request number 1, Corey Engineering and Testing Incorporated, Vasquez High School, Superintendent Sahakian.
Thank you. We've had this agreement or this contract with Corey Engineering before for the solar panel projects with Meadowlark as well as High Desert. I'll defer to Mr. Vensko. Kevin, you have the floor.
Item in, thank you. Motion to discuss, please.
I vote. I'll second.
Mr. Vansco.
Yes. All right, so yeah, this change order, there, when the initial proposal came in back at week of January, they just came out with just a general proposal of what they think their costs were gonna be. This is actually including an additional $22,000 worth of services for the solar array at Vasquez High. Important to note that this is we will be paying, the district is actually paying for the bill upfront with Corey, but it's going to be reimbursed by the company that's doing the solar panels. So this is just formality to make sure that we have the authority to pay beyond what the original contract was.
Board member questions?
You actually have a good question on this, Tom. Like, this has happened before. Have they paid it back the last time we did this?
Yeah, we're processing the bills that Corey, it's believe it's for Corey and Sandy Pringle. Those are the two vendors that are a part of that agreement where we bill them and they will bill us back. But yes.
You answered my question. You already answered.
Oh, okay.
We spoke about this earlier, and again, you were completely covered in stuff.
That makes the meeting go fast. Thank you. Call the question.
Yes, you second.
That's gonna.
Close your app. Aye. Item B, resolution 2023-2409, authorized use of remote teleconferencing provisions by way of Assembly Bill 361. Can I have a motion, please?
I move.
I'll second.
My understanding is that this allows for business to still be conducted by virtual means as it is necessary. Anything to add, Dr. Sahakian?
No, you covered it, Mr. Fallsgraf. This has just been a staple on our board meeting agendas post-COVID return. So thank you.
Board members, questions? Hearing none, call the question.
Yes, you second.
That's gonna.
Falls your app. Aye. Item C, a public hearing, which we will open at 8:29 p.m. And the public hearing is on the sufficiency or insufficiency of instructional materials. Do you have a motion to open the hearing?
I move.
I'll second.
Dr. Sahakian.
Thank you. This is a standard for all LEAs to go ahead and conduct at the beginning of the school year to make sure that all of our students are receiving sufficient materials within the core subjects of math, science, history, as well as English language arts.
Now we will, any public comment, anyone want to tell us anything? Nothing, board member comments? We will close the public.
I have a question about this. Is there a report or something that we're gonna see on this? I mean, how do we qualify our success on this particular item?
Great question, Mr. Costin. So, Williams audit inspection, covers facilities, covers sufficient materials, textbooks. And so, we are audited quarterly, and we had that on the agenda for the consent as well. So for example, Q1, July 1st through end of, I want to say September 30th, we met all of the criteria in terms of facilities, staffing and no staffing missed assignments, as well as sufficient materials for all of our students. So there are inspections as well as audits that are conducted to make sure that all of our students are receiving the appropriate textbooks as well as supplemental materials.
Thank you, Mr. Costin, for providing some clarity to the public. Anyone else with comments? Any public comment? Last call, we will close this hearing at 9 or 8:33. Now, we'll vote on this. Item D, resolution 2023-2410, sufficiency of materials. Do I have a motion?
Move it.
Second.
Is there any discussion from the board? Calling for public comment on this item. Hearing none, call the question.
Mr. Dyer.
Crossing line.
That's gonna.
Falls, you have aye. Moving on to 13, the calendar. There are regular board meetings scheduled for October 26, 2023 and November 9th, 2023. Does anyone have any calendar conflicts that would prevent us from having a quorum for either of those meetings?
I may not be here.
Okay, everybody else good? Thank you. We'll move on to 14. One question. Is the November meeting the only meeting in November? Okay, so
That is correct. November 9th only for the month of November.
which isn't a direction would be, if you have anything that would require a super majority of board vote, I would avoid putting it on a meeting where you don't have full attendance.
Thank you.
Thank you. 14, future agenda items. There is nothing on the future agenda items list right now, which to me signifies that district staff is doing well without being. I'll stop there. Board members, do you have anything you want to add to the fair future agenda items report?
I do. I would appreciate an update on the strategic planning at some point. I know you're probably planning to give us one, but I think any updates on that would be great.
Noted. Thank you, Mr. Costin. That's being worked on.
So staff will be attentive to Mr. Costan's request. Hopefully sooner than later. Thank you. 15A, adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting at 9:34 p.m., 8:34 p.m.?
Second.
Call the question.
Mr. Dyer.
Aye.
Call the aye.